Greetings, summoners. This is Raabemaster coming at you with another League of Legends commentary. But today, unlike my normal shoutcast, I'm bringing you an analyzed game which I have reviewed and now bringing to you as in a more in-depth fashion than my normal shoutcasts are. So I hope that you will all enjoy it for your viewing pleasure and hopefully make you a better League of Legends gamer at the same time. That is my goal. So if you all sit back, relax, and enjoy my prepared commentary, let's get on with it. First thing we have on blue team, Tryndamere, Riven, Vayne, Sona, and Ryze. While on red team we do have Morgana, Blitzcrank, Amumu, Evelynn, and Ashe. First thing, I'm going to go through my lane matchups, telling you my quick thoughts about it. Top lane we're going to have Riven against Eve. I think that's going to be pretty even. Well, I think that lane is definitely going to be won by Riven, because she does have the mobility which counteracts Eve's need to kite. So I'm going to give that one to Riven. Mid lane is going to be Morgana versus Ryze. Slight advantage to Morgana. Not too much of an advantage though, because Ryze does have a fairly okay matchup there. Bottom lane, Sona, Riven versus Blitzcrank, Ashe. Interesting lane. I don't think it's going to go either way. They're going to be aggressive on both sides, no matter what. While on jungling we have Amumu versus Tryndamere. Tryndamere can certainly try to counter jungle Amumu, but late game, unless Tryndamere gets fed, Amumu is going to be a much better addition to his team. Here we go, we got some invasion going on from red team. Evelyn's going to initiate onto Tryndamere. Tryndamere's a little bit slow to react, gets exhausted. Morgana did not bring her Dark Binding as her first skill. The Hate Spike on Eve is going to do approximately 30 damage to Tryndamere each hit. She flashes forward, the 2 summoner spells burn. Tryndamere though is going to make it away as Ryze drops the Rune Prison, perfectly imprisoning Eve right next to the tower, so she just has to take 2 shower shots. However, Ryze does also burn his Ignite in that way. In the end, really, a lot of summoner spells blown, but no real damage done to either side. Both junglers are going to have to recall. They both took copious amounts of damage. Not both junglers, Eve. I've just been seeing the new Eve in the jungle so much, I get used to it sometimes. But yes, this is going to hurt Tryndamere a lot more than it's going to hurt Eve, as Eve can just go back to her lane. However, Tryndamere is going to end up without a leash now on red buff, which is going to hurt his sustainability and speed through the jungle by quite a bit, unfortunately. That battle there could have gone a lot better for both sides. One, Eve was way too impatient there by the time she jumped out. She didn't wait for Blitzcrank with his pole. They didn't wait for Amumu, who, if he hadn't taken his first kill, could have taken advantage toss, gotten an extra stun in there. Would have slowed down his jungle for sure, but the kill would have more than made up for it. Also, Morgana took her Tormented Soil instead of her Dark Binding, so we'll see Tryndamere's here. Sad because he's not getting a leash. He's going to be taking a lot of damage. Even his Q is not going to do much to sustain. See, he uses his Q right there, which means he's going to even end up taking more damage, because since he had to use his Q for health, he's not doing as much damage to red buff as he would if he had left his turret. Pull on Sona's going to make her burn a flash. Don't know if that flash was necessary, as this Ashe is still level 1 and only has her volley, no frost shot, so no slow. However, here, Morgana could have easily made that better. Also, Tryndamere should start. I always start out Tryndamere with a spinning slash, because his Q doesn't offer him much sustain, since it also slows him down if he uses it in the middle of a camp, so spinning slash would help out there. Tryndamere also has a slash, which he didn't use, smart of him, so he was able to get away without burning a summoner spell. Eve burned both her summoner spells, so this is going to not help her secure any kills early game, as she has to wait on her exhaust and her flash to come back up. Here Ryze is doing a fair amount of harass to Morgana. However, Morgana is an impeccable farmer, and her natural spell vamp from her passive is going to help her heal back through that. Right now, we see Tryndamere is still only level 2 in his jungle, unfortunately, as he is not doing too well right now in his jungle. Going to hit level 3 soon, but not in the time of this raid camp, whereas Amumu is already level 3 and going to start his red buff up. Amumu starting with a regrowth pendant, an interesting choice to start for Amumu. Not one that everyone is comfortable going on. Here, Morgana's taking a lot of damage, however, she still has her dark shield up, and Ryze is not going to be able to stun her, meaning she's barely going to get away with flash, which is a sliver of health. Unfortunately, since Tryndamere did not get his leash and his jungle was so slow, he did not have his mocking shout to slow Morgana. Whether that would have secured the kill despite flash, I'm not exactly sure, but it couldn't have hurt. That's why it's important to leash your junglers. They go faster, they can gank easier. Nice grab on Vayne, however, she's just going to flash right out of there. Summoner heal also helping keep her alive. Very nice. And here we got the Riven versus Eve matchup on top. Like I was saying, Riven's lane matchups require her to kite with Hate Spike and to do damage until she can whittle her opponent down enough so that she can start actually doing damage with her attack speed buff and stuff like that. However, against Riven's a very slippery tanky DPS champion. As long as, See, look at her. She was able to run up there and start queuing her and stunning her. And if she spaced her auto attacks a bit better, she could do a lot more damage against that Eve. So that Eve is just gonna get completely harassed and zoned out of lane very hard. We got a Mumu trying to gank mid lane, however. Ryze is certainly very close to the tower, so it's not going to get much. Important to note, Tryndamere did give blue buff to Ryze. It's going to help his sustain in lane, as Ryze tends to build up a mana pool instead of actual mana regen. So the blue buff is very useful on him early mid game. Here we got a Mumu doing a bit of counter jungling, stealing a big golem. Actually, he's going to go and steal both of them. Tryndamere grabbing up his Wraith again. He's very low. If a Mumu was to find him right now, Tryndamere would be easy money. Here goes a Mumu trying to gank. Banish Toss barely misses. A very deceptive visual right there. Blitzcrank is going to take quite a couple tower hits. I think that was very unnecessary. Grabbing Sona, but unfortunately Mumu has already left, and that's forcing him to burn his flash, as he did not want to take more tower damage or damage from Vayne. Vayne's going to be a little bit aggressive here, dropping Blitzcrank down to 100 health. So here's a Mumu, still walking through Tryndamere's jungle. Gonna check the Wraith. However, they haven't spawned quite yet. Might stick around for them to spawn again. Eve here taking a lot of damage with Ignite. Almost dies. So let's go back and watch that. I always missed that one. We got Eve doing the bush. Her passive, Riven can't see her right now. She's gonna go forward, stun, Q, Q, Q. However, if she had spaced auto attacks between those Qs, I believe Eve would be dead now. That's an important thing to do as Riven. You gotta space your auto attacks through your Qs. Because you have 3 Q strikes on Riven with her broken wings. And if you space your auto, and her passive whenever she uses ability, more damage on her auto attacks. So if she had gotten those auto attacks in between the Qs, I believe that kill would have been secured right there. Here's a Mumu spending a large amount of time in blue team's jungle. Tryndamere's going to try to come up for a gank. Mocking Shout goes off, but his laners were totally not in a position to pick up anything from that. Just a hawk shot from Ash, checking to see if Tryndamere's still there. Mumu is now getting Tryndamere's Wraiths. Spending a large amount of time in Tryndamere's jungle. Oh, here comes the jungle matchup. Tryndamere versus a Mumu. Tryndamere definitely has more damage than a Mumu at the same level. And the only thing Tryndamere has is cloth armor and boots though, but still that fear is going to let him do a lot of damage. And Mumu is forced to flash. They don't know Morgana's in this bush. She surprises Ryze with the soul shackles. He's going to flash over, but the Ignite's going to pick up the kill. That's a wasted flash right there, because there's no way he was getting out of that. Although it was a nice effort to get away. There's Tryndamere, however, they've all burned all of their crowd controls already, so Tryndamere's just going to be able to flash out of there, all safe and sound. That's a very good job by Morgana, skirting the edge of the fog of war here. Here, let me show you that just exactly. Oh yeah. Blue team. So now here we have vision. Here comes Tryndamere along the river. He catches a Mumu in his jungle, starts just cutting him up. Here comes Ryze, down to help. Let's look at this fog of war here. We see Morgana. Morgana is no longer in vision. Since they don't know where Morgana is, they also can't see the dark binding come out, and she soul shackles. Ryze tries to flash over, but it's not enough range to get out of the soul shackles, unfortunately. Good job by Morgana, picking up that kill. However, they have no more crowd control since Morgana missed her dark binding earlier. So that allows Tryndamere to just hop over the edge of flash, bringing himself to safety. First blood on Morgana. Very well done. That's the one thing that this red team has a lot of, and it's going to be very important late game, is crowd control. Almost every member of their team specializes in crowd control, except for I'd say Evelynn, not really. But Mumu, lots of crowd control. Morgana, mainly picked for her ulti and lane sustain, which is a lot of crowd control. Ashe with her constant slows, and then Blitz with his pole knockup, and then his AoE silence is also very good crowd control. Here comes Riven doing some damage, getting a couple of auto attacks in there. Riven just completely outdamages Evelynn. However, his cooldowns are quite lengthy, especially at early levels. Now here comes a Mumu in for a gank on top lane. Neither of them are level 5. This is important to know, while Riven is level 7. He's going to do a ton of damage. He's going to get exhausted, however, by Evelynn. And right here, both of them are going to hit level 6. The ulti is leveled up on Mumu. However, he does not use it. While Evelynn does burn her ulti, if a Mumu had used his ulti right there, it would have been a for sure kill. However, he did not react fast enough to him leveling up, unfortunately, and that cost them the kill right there. Still, even without Evelynn's ultimate, it would have just taken a Mumu to get the kill right there. So, but still, at least a Mumu does have his ultimate up for another gank, which is good. Tryndamere, however, is still pretty slow in his jungle. Amumu level 6, Tryndamere only level 4. He will be hitting level 5 right here, but he does not have his ulti yet, and Tryndamere loves his ulti for ganking because it allows him to tower that like a boss. But right now, he will not be able to. Rise going back to his lane. It would have been a good idea for Tryndamere to maybe soak up some of that lane XP and gold while Rise was away, but he was much too low from his Wraith camps and other jungling route, so he's just going to go back and re-heal up. I'm guessing, I would be interested to see Tryndamere pick up a Wriggle's Lantern out of this. Right now, Amumu has 2 gold per 10 items, and is currently the only one on the map holding gold per 10. However, I will suspect both supports to get it. Both supports will get it, and Tryndamere, however, will not. Oh, there's a great Ash arrow. And Amumu comes to the gank, whips his ultimate though completely, but it looks like the rest of the team is dedicated onto doing this. Blitzcrank taking a bunch of health, gets taking down the last turret shot. A beautiful crescendo by Sona allows Vayne to pick up a double kill on Ash. That was a very good job by Sona. And also Amumu just completely whiffing his ultimate on anyone there. Is going to be chased out of there. It's important for Amumu to land their ultimate. The cooldown is outrageously high, and that was just an unacceptable miss right there. Here, they know that Morgana's coming up to the lane. However, Vayne reacts insanely slow to this. She's going to try to, but she gets stuck in the dark binding. She had both flash and tumble up right there. It's important to remember. A flash would have gotten her out of the way of that dark binding for sure. If she had tumbled after flashing at the end, she would have gotten out of the dark. She would have gotten out of the soul shackles. I don't know why Vayne wouldn't use her tumble, but that was definitely a very big mistake, which gave Morgana the kill. However, there's no way Morgana's getting out of here, as there are 3 people in hot pursuit of her. She's going to land the dark binding, but it's not going to matter. Power cord by Sona. It's going to be enough to pick her up. Now here we got Evelynn and Riven back in their lane. Riven definitely zoning out Evelynn hard. However, her stealth allows Evelynn to still pick up XP while being zoned decently well. However, Evelynn can't go toe-to-toe with Riven right now. He's taking some damage from Riven's Q. Here comes Amumu though, because Riven is completely overextended here. No wars at all, so Amumu is just going to come from the backside. However, Riven's going to be smart. He's going to overextend right into the tower. He's going to go through the other path through the tri-bush. Amumu misses his band shots, does not have his ulti up, thus burns his flash for absolutely nothing. Had he had his ultimate up, they probably could have gotten more out of that, but unfortunately they did not. Tryndamere's ganking bot right now, however. Ash going to take a large amount of damage and is going to be taken down by Vayne as she retreats behind the tower. Certainly going to stand there a little too long, gets Blitzcrank grabbed while taking tower aggro. You do not want to be near a Blitzcrank while taking tower aggro. He will keep you under that turret for so long. It is just too dangerous. Also important to note, neither team has gone for Dragon yet. That objective is still on the map. Right now, I would like to see blue team go for it, as they did win that exchange. However, Ryze is out of position, and Morgana is also coming down to try to clean up the fight. Now we're going to see some very bad positioning by Vayne right here. Watch where she goes. There's a Blitzcrank right here. She has no idea that Blitzcrank is still there. All she wants to do is farm right now. However, she's going to push this lane a little bit up. There's Morgana and Ryze. They're not going to do anything to each other because Ryze doesn't really want to deal with Morgana. Oh, and here comes Blitz is going to cut off Vayne's escape perfectly. The Dark Binding misses, but it doesn't matter because Morgana's got her Soul Shackles. Vayne pops her ult, but it's not going to give her movement speed out of that one. As Vayne punches her in the... Blitzcrank punches Vayne in the face with the kill. Both of these simultaneously killed right there. And here we go, a little bit of a scuffle. Tryndamere gets killed despite the fact that he had his ultimate. Unfortunate he did not cast it. I don't know if he would have gotten out there anyways, but a beautiful crescendo is going to keep both Sona and Ryze alive. There would have been a little chance for Morgana to get a little bit more damage down on Sona had she dropped her Tormented Soil under her, but did not want to be stuck. Did not want to face a chance that Ryze was going to do something to her because she was desperately low on health. You can see Amumu coming down from the corner. Coming down to gank Ryze and Sona. Vayne is almost up there. This Amumu could be dangerous if he were to land a good bandage toss. His ultimate is up right now. However, so is Ash's too, so that's a lot of crowd control that Sona and Ryze have to deal with. Looks like Ryze is going to be though, so there's not going to be much to do here. However, Riven is coming back in. Looks like Blitz is going in for the initiation. Amumu going to land his... No, he's going to miss his bandage toss. I'm thinking about another time. Ash arrow also whiffs because of the flash. Here comes Evelyn and Rise. However, Evelyn and Riven. However, Riven's gonna do a lot more damage to Evelyn, forcing her to burn her spells to get out of there. Here comes a Moo. Making Tryndamere's life hell in his jungle right now. He's gonna pop his ulti, get Tryndamere. However, Undying Rage is gonna keep him alive long enough to spinning slash out of there. Not the best use of Mumu's ultimate, especially since he knew Tryndamere had his Undying Rage up. Well, I didn't know for sure, but it was a good bet. Here you go, Riven killed Evelyn. Let's jump back to that. Check it out. Here we go. Riven, just so much damage. There's no way Evelyn can deal with Riven's damage, especially right now. Now that he's 2-1, and Evelyn is 1-2. The farm difference is 70 to 33 farm. Evelyn is just so far behind. She lands the Soul Shackles immediately, and then changed her CC on top of that with Soul Shackles, picking up the kill. Good job by Morgana, securing the kill by chaining up her CC. Blue buff is now up for red team. Morgana would like to go do that. This is something you need to do as well if your opponents are out ganking other lanes. You need to push your lane and try to do damage to the tower. It's the important thing to do to make sure that they don't gain too much of an advantage by going to gank. Amumu thinking, nah, I don't really want to go up to Rise, or do I? Misses Band Shots. Some free damage for Rise right there, being a little bit more aggressive. However, Evelyn's coming up, so it's probably best that he just left. Here comes Blitzcrank, pulls Sona through the wall. However, none of his other teammate isn't here to help. As Ashe gets knocked through the wall, Blitzcrank is going to be caught very out of position as double CC gets stacked, Crescendo and Room Prison, allowing Vayne to pick up the kill. Good job by them. Also, Evelyn came down to help, but she's forced to flash and run away as Morgana tries to come in, but realizes she can't take a 3v2, especially with Evelyn running away. Evelyn and Morgana, they're looking at doing Dragon. However, here comes Riven too. All 5 members of blue team are down here, whereas Blitzcrank is still at his base on red team, and Amumu is also recalling. Evelyn doesn't really want to do much. Let's see how the engage will go down here. Looks like they're going to try to pick up the kills on Morgana and Riven. However, good Dark Binding and Ashe are both going to connect, and they're not going to have enough damage to take down Ashe, especially with the Summoner spell heal. Now, blue team is going to take a lot of damage right there, as many of the members of the team are now low. Here goes Evelyn. Oh, a nice Dark Binding and Tormented Soil land on Tryndamere, forcing him to pop his ultimate to get out of there alive. Oh, Evelyn decided to face Chug a Book, which was a bad idea, as Vayne does a ton of damage to her. Oh, the Soul Shackles are going to pick up 2 members of the team, Riven and Sona, but Vayne is still free to do as much damage as she pleases. The ult from Riven is going to pick up the kill on Morgana, as he's going to also use his micro stun to pick up the kill on Blitzcrank. Amumu is going to be the only one left alive. He runs away, but he's still tanky, and no one's going to catch up to him, of course. That was a very good job. Riven doing a lot of damage there. Morgana definitely overextending when all she had to back her up was Blitzcrank. Definitely not enough damage to take out the members of the team. And right there is a moment of when you have to be watching when you recall. Let's watch that again. Very important to know. It was a good time to recall and a bad time to recall. This is one of those bad times to be in the bush recalling. Had Riven still been there, easy kill on Ashe. Had Sona's been there, easy kill on Ashe. You gotta be paying attention when you recall. You can't just be in the store buying stuff. Easy kill right there had they have been paying attention when they were recalling. Oh, fail bandage shot. It's not even funny how bad that was. He's gonna try to out-damage Ashe, but no. The ult from Amumu is gonna secure the kill. Rise definitely getting way too greedy right there. Looks like they're pinging for Ashe to recall out of. There's no one in blue team who's gonna be able to do anything about her recalling. Vayne's too low to risk a tower damage. Our blue team, the only team with a ward out right now. Let's admire this ward before it goes down, because it is warding Dragon. Oh, guess we're not admiring it. I was lying. Sorry. Just moving my notes around a bit. Yeah, Riven versus Eve, just like I predicted, Evelyn's not having a fun time. Oh yeah, I have watched this before, but that's also what I thought when I was first watching it. Now, I don't want to be like, oh, I knew what was going to happen, but it's basically the principle. Eve, when she's laning, I think she's a decent laner. I don't think she's that good even after her remake. She's not that great of a champion. But I know some people like the new Eve, but I personally don't. But if I had to play her, I like to play her top lane because she's kind of built like a Trinity tank-ish, but more damage. Here she's gonna ult Riven. They're gonna start, her and Moon are gonna start doing damage. However, Riven has a lot of damage of his own, and the Moon is quickly gonna learn like, I can't out-damage Riven. I'm a tank. I see Valor's out of there. But no, Evelyn overextends onto a weakened Riven despite the fact Morgana didn't get there fast enough to save her. The Dark Tormented Soil and the ult are going to be enough to shut down Riven. Morgana certainly being the one to clean up the fights here. And Trinimir's like, I'm not facing a Morgana. Are you kidding me? Double up Morgana? Pfft. Yeah. Ryze should be using his ulti to push this lane right now. Take that, they could have, if he had used his ulti to push this lane, they would already be at that tower doing a large amount of damage to it. Probably have taken it down already, but they're going to be able to take it down anyways, as Morgana's going to take too long to get here. Dragon's still up, neither team has gone for it, and that's a good job by blue team, taking down red team's middle turret. This means that blue team's going to have a lot less secure jungle around here, and then around the red buff and blue buff. A lot less vision, that's a lot of vision lost, and a lot less zone control. Here comes Ryze and Trinimir when I start taking Dragon, however it's just the two of them, and Evelyn and Morgana are moving down. Trinimir also not doing too hot this game. He's going to be taking Dragon aggro. Evelyn jumps and starts doing damage. So they pop Endless Rage and start running after Evelyn. However, he is still taking Dragon aggro right now. As Morgana drops the Tormented Soil, picking up the easy kill. Here, as Ryze is forced to retreat, in comes Vayne doing major damage to Blitzcrank. Crescendo only hits Blitzcrank though, as Sona stays a little bit too long, and Ryze comes back in the fight, but it's a bad time for him to come back in. Right now, Sona is desperately low on health. Doesn't look like she's going to make it out of here, as the Asho perfectly connects, allowing them to pick up the kill. Right now, someone ignites. Oh, the longest Spanish loss known to man connects. As that Riven just said, no, get off of me, crying mummy. Pushes him away. Still, very good job by red team. Clean up that fight, making it a 1-for-2 exchange so far. However, in comes Morgana, picking up the kill on Vayne. So that was a very good job. 3-for-1 exchange right there. Doing some work. And here comes Amumu stealing Trinimir's red buff, which is going to be very detrimental to Trinimir, considering he is only level 8 right now. And Amumu is level 11. That Dark Binding doing so much damage to Trinimir. He is just not looking good right now. Right now, let's take a look at the game. 13 of 13 are the kills. The gold is also only 300 in the advantage of blue team still. Despite that team battle, the gold is still basically even on both sides. There goes Blitzcrank saying that I don't want to get stuck between a Riven and a Ryze. No, few people would. Ryze doing a little bit of poking at Ashe, however Ashe is at perma-slow, so there's no way he's going to be able to get away from her. There goes the Tormented Soil down there. Yawning a bit. A little bit tired. However, that will not detract from my casting. Must be done. So here goes the move, finish up his wolves. Right now the timer is 21-21. So we're going to have a lot of the teams start congregating towards the mid. The laning phase is finishing up here as Evelyn's taking down the blue turret right there, giving red a nice little gold lead of 1k after that turret had gone down. Right here comes Trinimir. However, he can't 1v1 this Eve, I don't think. However, red team is pinging that Eve away. I don't know why exactly, but some reason. That Trinimir does not have much in the way of damage. A Wriggle's Lantern, Berserker Greaves, and a Dagger. Not really much in the way of damage at all. However, late game, Trinimir is still pretty good, even if he has been held back in his early game. We're just going to see the still farming up bot lane, despite the fact that it's 22 minutes in. Vayne does have a farm advantage over Ashe of just a little bit, and she has 6 kills to Ashe's 3, meaning that she's almost done with her Infinity Edge and is built and also has a Zeal, whereas Ashe does not even have a pickaxe. The difference here is that Ashe is a little bit more behind her big ticket item build than Vayne is, though Ashe is going to be going for a Bloodthirster instead of an Infinity Edge, which is an interesting choice. Despite this, because of Ashe's passive, you usually see them go for Infinity Edges. Here we go, we got a gank coming in on Morgana. Tryndamere and Riven are coming, doing tons of damage to Morgana. She pops her ulti. However, Riven's gonna have none of that as she's gonna keep doing damage. The Ash Arrow perfectly connecting with Riven, barely allowing Morgana to escape alive. However, the same cannot be said for Eve, who stayed there too long and is going to give rise to this first kill of the game. That Ash Arrow was beautiful. There's just the perfect amount of CC to keep Riven locked away for just longer. Here comes a Mumu. This is AP tank hybrid of Mumu doing tons of damage. Not really tons of damage, but enough damage to take out Riven. It's an interesting choice to put sword shoes on a Mumu. I have never done it myself. An interesting idea for a build. Usually the merch has to be thought is better. Also, interesting fact, Riven has Ninja Tabby, which I don't think are a very good choice of boots for her right now. You got a bit of a tussle, 2 exhaust blown. However, the other one going down here is Blitzcrank, as the last Bane Arrow is able to pick up him still. The idea of the choice of Ninja Tabby for Riven are bad. Would have been a very good job on Evelynn, who has boots of mobility right now, or as I like to call them, boots of ganking. And she has not been doing much roaming at all. So I think those have been very detrimental to her early game, as they have not supplied her with, say, Ninja Tabby armor, which is very good against Riven early game, because she just does so much physical damage. Instead, she went for boots of mobility, which really haven't done much for her. She most likely just copied those from a guide, and they're just not good for her situation right now. On the other hand, Riven has Ninja Tabby, and I think Merc Treads would be a far superior option, especially since Red Team just has so much crowd control. A Mumu, a Morgana, Ashe, just so much crowd control. Those Merc Treads have been so beneficial. Here we go, Riven and Tryndamere engaging, probably into a bad situation. Riven's gonna get stunned. If only she had Merc Treads. She's going to try to flash over here, trying to juke out that Evelynn, but no, the bandage toss into the ultimate, into the dark binding, into the almost Ash Arrow. That was just so much CC by Red Team. They can keep one person locked down in a spot for a long time. And even the tanky DPS snowballing Riven, not able to get out of there in time. I would say that Blue Team has a bit more damage, but unfortunately their Tryndamere is way underfed, and their Ryze isn't doing very well. Ryze also started out with a Rod of the Ages. Very interesting. Almost every Ryze, including myself, started out with a Tear of the Goddess for more mana, because that is where a lot of Ryze's damage comes from. So right now we got Spell Shield trolling him, but Tryndamere's gonna try to take a few swipes. Somehow gets the flash out of Morgana. I don't think that flash was that really necessary from her, but they got it out of her, I guess. Good on them. Red Team's thinking about getting a dragon, second dragon of the game here. 15 to 15 gold right now, barely in the advantage of Red Team. You're really starting to see the Red Team's crowd control in late game come through right now. Whereas if Blue Team, that's the one thing I wanted to say about Red Team. Their team fight presence is a lot stronger than Blue Team, a lot. However, if Blue Team can find individual members of Red Team in bad places, out of position, they can easily pick up kills and then win their way through the team fights by being 4v5, 3v5, something like that. However, they're gonna think about tower diving Vayne, and she tries to get out of there as fast as possible. Agro barely hits Vayne. She's just going to get completely destroyed. Someone that sticks around for too long should have left a while ago. She's going to get picked up by a bandage toss. And then Ryze himself decided to come in and commit suicide, getting killed. However, they're all low, allowing this Riven to come in here and start chopping people up. And she does, doing so much damage. She realizes this is a lot of people here for me to fight. But the Blitzcrank grab is going to pull her back from under the tower. The Amumu will ultimately go off. She's going to have to fight it out first, taking down Amumu. Then destroying Evelynn and getting out of there just before the Blitzcrank ult is able to pick her off. A very good job by Riven, turning a 3-0 exchange into a 3-for-3 exchange. Very well done by her. That brings her up to 9-5 and 2. And allow her to pick up a pickaxe. A very nice looking pickaxe. Probably going to turn that into a Mal of Memortius along with the Hex Drinker. Turning the Hex Drinker and the pickaxe into a Maw of Malmortius. Right now we'll see that Ashe has a BF sword and a Bloodthirster, who has, compared to Vayne, has an Infinity Edge, a Cloak of Crit, and some lifesteal from the Vamp Scepter. Right now, Morgana trying to take some jungle, but the wolves had wandered out of her tormented soil. So sad. Blue team might be looking to take dragon right now. However, the rest of red team is also on their way over there. Decent, pretty good coordination by red team. They're like, yeah, let's go to dragon. We have this thing coordinated. We just saw most of their team go around there. Hawkshot's gonna reveal it. Blue team should leave right now because too much of red team comes. They don't know it's not just Morgana. Here comes Ash. Here comes Blitzcrank. He's already in the fight. They're gonna focus down Tryndamere, who has to pop his ult, but he's not gonna get out. The crescendo hits 3 to 4 people. But no, it's already 2 people now. Riven and Tryndamere taken down extremely quickly in that fight since they had no CC there to protect them. No designated tank to keep them safe. An amazing banish toss connects with Rise, doing a ton of damage. And right now they're all just stuck surrounding a Mumu, which is bad because if he pops his ult, everyone dies. And that allowing for Ash to pick up a double kill. That was a really good job by red team, knowing that the objective of Baron was being secured. You don't want to take dragon when it could cost you your team fight. It's not worth losing a team fight over. It's a great objective. Dragon is not worth losing a team fight over. It's not worth getting aced over. There was just too much chance of taking that dragon, and it just completely flopped on them. They stuck around for too long. Once that Morgana showed up, they needed to leave. They knew Ash was coming because she launched a Hawkshot. The rest of the team was coming. They just should have gotten out of there as fast as possible. And right now, red team is just putting blue team in a huge deficit. Let's see, Evelyn has not traded out her, has she traded out her blue team ganking? No, she has not. All she has is, she is starting to get back into this game though. Which is very important for red team to get some of their damage back into this game, because late game Evelyn still does quite a bit of damage, as the new Evelyn does. There's Tryndamere hacking up a Booba, but he's gonna overextend and find a Riven and find an Evelyn there who is more than happy to kill him. Evelyn's gonna burn her ult, which right now I think is on a longer cooldown than it used to be. I'm pretty sure that they buffed its cooldown, but right now it's pretty atrociously long. And now neither team really wanting to engage each other. However, advancing and get caught next to Morgana do a lot of damage through that spell shield, because it's a spell shield, not an arrow to the face shield. I'm not gonna make that joke. Nope, not gonna do it. I will not make that joke. Here comes Vayne, still chasing the Ash, but the Ash arrow is gonna be enough CC to hold them back from killing her. Riven don't want to overextend here though, because they have a Blitzcrank coming up who could easily pull her back. Although we know how well the last pull on Riven went. Not too well. And now the scores are 18 to 24 in favor of red team. Gold 37.4k to 43.5k in favor of red team. And of course blue team, red team also taking the lead in towers. So by objectives, with objectives and money, red team has the advantage. This is looking very strong for them. With their late game, the only thing that blue team has up, red team has more tankiness and a lot more crowd control. However, blue team has the possibility for having more damage. Vayne deals a ton of damage. Tryndamere can deal a ton of damage. Riven deals a lot of damage. Rise has amazing DPS for a caster. However, if Riven keeps getting caught out of position like this, she's not going to be around to do her damage as she gets picked up again by red team. Riven needs to stop getting caught out of position like this, or else it's just going to make her team lose team fights. Sona also getting grabbed out of position. Tryndamere's going to run in here and start hacking things to pieces, but he's under farm. Has almost no kills. He does have no kills. So he's not going to be able to do much except for pop Undying Rage and hope for the best. And in this case, the best is not going to happen. Red team picking up the 3-for-0 exchange. There goes the Ash Arrow 2 base. Oh, really wanted to hit that Rise. So close, but not close enough. Evelyn's gonna pick up that red buff. Oh, nope. Oh, Mumu gets it. He's like, my red buff. I'm jungler. I get red buff. Mumu level 17, doing very well this game. 6-2. Everyone, pretty much everyone, except for Evelyn, who had a very rocky early game. Because Riven is a very good counter to Evelyn top. And now Blitzcrank building his normal tanky route of, looks like, Frozen Heart. He's going to be coming out with a Frozen Heart very soon. Oh, Rise catches him and is quickly able to DPS him down. Rise, one one of the mages with the most DPS in the game just because of his passive and naturally short cooldowns. He's just able to continually cast spells throughout his team fight, which gives him just he doesn't have like the burst of, say, LeBlanc or perhaps like Ari, but he does have the consistent DPS that those mages don't. Just able to continually dish out damage throughout the team fight. So right now, Rise finally got his Tear of the Goddess. However, it is not stacked, and he went straight for a Blasting Wand, which is going to make that into an Archangel's very early. I don't like this idea from Rise. He needs his Tear of the Goddess is very unstacked, which means he's not going to be getting a lot of AP for the Archangels, which has a recipe cost of a lot. So that could be very detrimental right there for blue team's damage.
Red team's turret has been
However, Riven once again getting caught out of the position. The Shackles is going to complete the Ash Arrow, going to connect. The Blitz knockup going to happen. No, wait, he was looking to steal the kill. At Blitzcrank, looking to steal a kill. However, we only got another 9 minutes left in this game, and Red Team is looking extremely strong right now. Just so much CC. This is why you need CC on a team. You don't need necessarily this much, because Blue Team did great damage, but Blue Team does not have the CC. A nice grab by Blitzcrank gives them another easy kill, and is going to allow them to push in through this turret here. If they are brave enough. I don't know, I think an Amumu Bandage Toss to ultimate could give them a successful team fight, even underneath a tower, as long as Amumu's just taking the tower aggro. Let's look at Amumu's stats right now. He right now has 225 armor and 108 MR. That is a lot of defense, a lot of defenses. With that Abyssal Scepter, with that Sunfire Cape, he's still doing quite a bit of damage in these team fights. So he is not someone you can just count out as doing no damage. Although he's definitely not someone that you should focus on a team fight. Vayne here, not wanting to get caught by that Morgana. That Morgana has rushed her Zonias into Rylai's and also has a Will of the Ancients. Good itemization for Morgana. I don't know about the Rylai's and Will of the Ancients before Rabadon's, but I don't play Morgana all too much. Just an interesting pickup. The support on Sona does have her Aegis of the Legion. This is going to help her team's damage and survivability quite a bit. Whereas Blitzcrank does not have any auras right now. There's Amumu picking up a Force of Nature, giving him a lot more survivability against that Rise. Whoever, though, is not the main source of damage. However, he does have enough armor right now, I'd say, to deal with that Riven. We're going to see Riven coming up here. All the blue team being in the jungle right now. They're going to look like they're going up for a team fight. Riven and Trinity are going to get caught on one side of the team fight. There goes Vayne. They're going to immediately kill down nuke down Ash. However, there's too much damage here, not enough tankiness. Red team's just going to be able to go straight from the carries of blue team and take them all out so very fast. So Sona's just going to have to run away, float away with her instruments. The problem right there is that the carries for blue team were just completely out there in the open. Also, so was Ashe. That was the good thing that blue team did. They were able to focus down Ashe and kill her extremely fast. However, that was not enough for... Oh, and Sona getting way too greedy, trying to trade with that Morgana, and instead just getting completely annihilated. The problem is that blue team did not have their whole team there. The Rise was not there, and red team just had enough crowd control and enough focus to take them down even without the Ashe. Oh, and there's a Blitzcrank and a Amumu tower diving the Rise. Let's watch that one again. Here comes Rise. He's being chased by a Blitzcrank and a Amumu. He's gonna get knocked up, ulted, and as he flashes away, the Blitzcrank grabs and they come in after the Amumu Baron's Toss, giving Blitzcrank the kill. Very well played. They could probably just turn on this turret right here and take it down without minions, but no, they're gonna let the minion wave come in, take down the turret, and they might be able to get the inhibitor, even though they don't have Ashe with them right now. However, there is no Rise or Sona, so they very well could. Here comes Vayne, trying to do a lot of damage. However, will she overextend? After that it looks like it has... Oh, she gets Ashe Arrow ulted and killed by an auto attack from Morgana. And Riven's gonna go way too far, getting way too greedy and just destroyed by the rest of red team. She could get a Zonias out of it, but That's like 60 seconds of cooldown, so that's no consolation. Rise finishes his Archangels. The one thing that blue team is doing well is they are all buying wards. However, let's take a moment to look at the map vision. They don't really seem to be using said wards. So, buying them and having them in your inventory isn't really that useful. So, unfortunately, blue team can't even move out of their base, so having wards really isn't that useful. Sona, which has 5 of them. It's quite a bit. Sona still only having her Aegis of the Legion, whereas Black has finished his Frozen Heart. It's going to be very useful. Morgana attempting to get Big Golem, the Blue Golem, and she does indeed pick it up. Ashe, Blitzcrank, and Evelyn taking down the mid lane inhibitor of blue team. This is going to start generating super creep and pushing all of the lanes, as all minions are buffed when you take out an inhibitor. We only have a few minutes left in this game, and I'm not going to lie, red team's looking amazing right now. They're a combination of they're just massive amounts of utility, along with the fact that blue team is being greedy. Just the members of blue team taking such unnecessary risks. The Riven always being caught out of position. She might be a tanky DPS, but she's just taking way too much damage, and she's really the biggest damage dealer on their team besides Megan. There goes a Crescendo. Someone has just fat fingered a Crescendo probably. I don't know, but most likely they fat fingered their Crescendo. That's gonna be super unfortunate for red team, for blue team. However, red team finds Ashe in a completely vulnerable position, only with Blitzcrank. Very good for blue team. In comes Evelyn, however, she's not gonna be able to do much. May's taking a ton of damage, she's gonna tumble away. Will she make it? No, the Eve is hot on her trail. She's gonna find her, drop the exhaust, the hate spice, and pick up the kill. Here comes Morgana though, ulting all of blue team, only getting Riven. But they're going to focus down so fast. Will they be able to take her out? Not before she... Yes, right before she was able to kill Blitzcrank. All that crowd control keeps Blitzcrank barely alive. The only 2 people left on blue team is Sona and Rise. I want to say red team could probably push us into the win. However, they don't have Ashe, and that's a large source of damage. Without her, the win is not completely assured right now. Right now, red team looking to push down this turret too. Maybe grab the top lane inhibitor. My mouth's getting a little dry. Probably about the water, but I didn't because, you know, yeah, that makes me cool, right? Oh, the nice bandage shots grabbing that Sona. Will they be able to pick up the kill into the turret? Yes, they will. But the Moo taking the tower shot, she's like, I don't care. Look at me, I'm a Moo. Spell Shield's not really going to help much against turret aggro, though. Oh, getting the Banshee shots on Rise, doing a lot of damage. Rise like, I wish I had brought a Banshee's Veil, maybe, instead of this Rod of Ages. He's not even going to be able to pick up the Blitzcrank. The Ashe Arrow's going to come in. Doesn't hit anyone. Sad Ashe Arrow. We're going to have the Guardian's Angel, so she's not even going to lose her Guardian's Angel, though, right now. Maybe she will. No. She pops her ultimate. It's going to not be enough to save the Evelyn, unfortunately. There goes the ult by Riven, however, she's like, oh, Guardian Angel. Wah, wah. Guardian Angel reviving you with 750 HP. I believe 400 mana or something like that. Right now, red team's looking in a very dominant position. The blue team can do it less. They are able to drop down the Morgana. Will they? Yes, they're going to do just enough damage. Now, right now, red team's like, we've got some damage in here, but I don't know how much exactly. Oh, Bombardo attack. Double kill by Ashe. I don't think Ashe is going to be able to take down this Vayne, though. Vayne does a lot of damage late game. Hyper carry status. But right now, it's looking extremely bad for blue team. They have 2 inhibitors down, the other one half on health, and a naked Nexus. The minions are going to do the work if they don't want to do it for themselves. There's only a minute and a half left on this game, and I think we all know how it's going to end. Well, I know, you guys can only guess. Yeah, we're just looking at blue team deal so much damage. So much pain. Unfortunately, their streamer has been kept down all game. Who's going to pick up this dragon?
Red team has slain
Blue
the
team is
dragon.
going to, and it looks like red team might be wanting to elixir up right now. However, none of them have purchased them yet. However, this game is just about over here. Blue team's base almost naked. Only has one inhibitor left besides the Nexus. There's nothing stopping red team from marching down in here and taking the cake. We've only got about 40 to 50 more seconds on this game. Remember, this timer down here is not exactly correct. Ash being caught terribly out of position, though. I mean, Vayne being caught terribly out of position. That is not what you can do this late game when your Nexus is pretty much gone. When you have over a minute long on the respawn timer, you cannot afford to be dying like that. And here comes an Ash arrow from downtown. Is it going to connect with the Sona's face? Yes, it does. It's going to allow Morgana to drop down a Dark Binding and Tormented Soil, doing a lot of damage. However, moving to miss his Banish Sauce. However, one thing that's not going to miss is ultimate. Doing a lot of damage and allowing Morgana to drop her ultimate. However, it's still not connected with anyone, but it doesn't matter. You get taken down by Morgana.
Inhibitor has been destroyed.
And this is pretty much it. Thank you all for watching. I hope you do enjoy. I want to get... These ones do take me quite a bit longer to get out than my shoutcasts, because my shoutcasts are really easy to get out. However, I do want to start doing these perhaps on the weekends when I have more time. Besides that, I do hope you guys enjoyed. Consider dropping a like, favorite, subscribe. All these things help me out so very much. And comments tell me how I can do better. So I do hope you all have such a great day, Summoners. Have some good games tonight on the house.